David McAdie, George Perry Floyd, Drayshawn Reed, Michael Brent Charles Ramos, Breonna Taylor, Manuel Elijah Ellis, Atanya Jefferson, Ematic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., Charles Roundtree, Chinedu Okobi, Botham John, Antoine Rose Jr., Shahid Vaisel, Stephon Clark, Aaron Bailey, Charlene Lyles, Jordan Edwards, Chad Robertson, Deborah Danner, Alfred Olongo, Terrence Crutcher, Terrence Sterling, Cron Gaines, Joseph Curtis Mann, Philando Castillo, Alton Sterling, Betty Johnson, Quintinio Lager, Corey Jones, Jamal Clark, Jerry McDowell, India Kager, Samuel Du Bois, Sandra Bland, Brendan Glenn, Freddie Gray Jr., Walter Scott, Eric Harris, Philip White, Maya Hall, Megan Hokaday, Tony Terrell Robertson Jr., Janisha Fonville, Natasha McKenna, Jerame Reed, Ruben Brisson, Tamir Rice, Akai Gurley, Tanisha Anderson, Dante Parker, Ezell Ford, Michael Brown Jr., John Crawford III, Eric Garner, Dontre Hamilton, Victor White III, Gabriel Navarez, Yvette Smith, Mackenzie Cochran, Jordan Baker, Andy Lopez, Miriam Carey, Barrington Williams, Jonathan Farrell, Carlos Alces, Larry Eugene Jackson Jr., Kym Livingston, Clinton Allen, Kimani Gray, Kyla Moore, Jamal Moore Sr., Johnny Kamani Warren, Shelly Mayer Frere, Darnisha Harris, Timothy Russell, Marlisha Williams, Noel Polanco, Reynaldo Cuevas, Chavis Carter, Alicia Thomas, Chantel Davis, Sharmel Edwards, Tamon Robinson, Irvin Lee Jefferson III, Kendrick McDade, Rakia Boyd, Sharice Francis, Jersey K. Green, Wendell James Allen, Nehemiah Laser Dillard, Dante Lamar Price, Raymond Luther Allen Jr., Manuel Levy Logs Jr., Ramarley Graham, Kenneth Chamberlain Sr., Alonzo Ashley Jr., Kenneth Harding Jr., Derek Williams, Raheem Brown Jr., Renald Doucette, Derek Jones, Danroy Henry Jr., Ayanna Monet Stanley Jones, Stephen Eugene Austin, Oscar Grant, Aaron Campbell, Kewan Carrington, Victor Steen, Sheem Walker, Tariq Wilson, Dante Terrell Fowler, Sean Bell, Catherine Johnston, Ronald. It's almost 4. Look, I haven't even got through the whole list. I've been reading names for the past almost 4 minutes. These are all people who lost their lives to police brutality. Enough is enough. This statement is really, this taking a stance and vocalizing how I feel about this is really important to me, because I myself have been pulled over on a routine traffic stop and had guns pulled out on me at the age of 19 years old. I was 19 years old. I could have lost my fucking life. I was less than 2.5 miles away from my house when this happened. Racism will never end in this country. The only thing black people are asking is those horrible, maniac people who shoot and kill unarmed black individuals, brown individuals, should be brought to justice. I don't give a fuck if black people are getting shot if the people who are doing it are getting persecuted and sent to jail for life. Racism will never end in this country. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking for those who commit heinous crimes against colored individuals to be brought to justice. For those of you who don't understand, who sit there and wonder, why are NBA players boycotting? Why? Okay, well, in this country, capital is everything. Okay, and for those of you who don't know, majority of the owners in the NFL and in the NBA who profit off these black people are white. And the only way to hit white people is to hit them in their fucking pockets. So if athletes decide, you know what, we're not going to go out there and make you money, then they're going to start to listen. Enough is enough. For those of you who don't know and haven't been following, the NBA has the players in the NBA boycotted the NBA playoffs. This started with the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday, who acted without informing other teams in the bubble that they were going to boycott their game. They were there for shoot around their game against the Magic on Wednesday. So they were there for shoot around, their layup line or whatever. And then they were there for stretching. And then when it was time to come out for the game, they refused to come out the locker room. And I was sitting there wondering why, how come I haven't got the notification that the game has started? Come to find out, because I looked at my phone, I looked at my Apple Watch and it said it was 1:10, and I'm on the West Coast, so the game's supposed to start at 1:00. And then I just started getting tweet after tweet that the Milwaukee Bucks, it looks like they're protesting the game, and rightfully so. And why? Because they demand justice for Jacob Blake. Okay? I'm a fucking fool if I actually thought, I'm a fucking fool because I literally thought, after all that transpired in this country, the numerous protests, the riots, the police cars being burnt down, the violence that occurred in all the major cities across the face of this country, Oakland, Los Angeles, Houston, Miami, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Vegas, Phoenix, all these cities with individuals of all walks of life coming into the streets and protesting that enough is enough. I thought, okay, they're going to listen. It was riot on top of riot on top of riot on top of looting on top of looting on top of peaceful protests on top of peaceful protests on top of peaceful protests. So in my mind, I thought, okay, maybe something is actually going to happen. They're going to stop killing our unarmed black brothers and sisters. But I was fucking wrong, because Jacob Blake had 6 shots, not 6, I apologize, 7 fucking shots run through his fucking back. For what? He did nothing. And if anybody wants to bring up his past, his pride, fuck you. And if I catch you slipping, I'm gonna slap the shit out you, nigga. So the Milwaukee Bucks decided they weren't gonna play the game. And they were led by the 2 loudest voices in their locker room were that of Sterling Brown and George Hill. Sterling Brown, like many other African-American men in this country, have been the victim of police brutality. Sterling Brown informed the team of when he first got into the league, and obviously he wasn't the popular name that he is now. Not that he's super popular now, but his rookie season when he first got into the league, he himself had a police officer put his knee on his neck. Last time I checked, that's unnecessary. And George Hill, after their Game 4 win, talked about how he didn't see why they were still at the bubble. And I commend those two brothers because I commend them 100%. So when the Bucks didn't come out for the game, the Magic obviously went to the locker room, and then word started flying around the bubble that the Milwaukee Bucks, which is the closest city in proximity to Kenosha, Wisconsin, that the Milwaukee Bucks decided to take a stand and say, we're not going to fucking play until something happens, because we can't continue to lose. We didn't lose him, thankfully. Thank God we did not lose him. We're not going to continue to play if our unarmed, I'm going to emphasize again, unarmed brothers keep getting shot like they're fucking animals. It just makes no sense. So then all the other teams that were slated to play later on in the day decided to follow suit. The Houston Rockets said, we're not playing. Oklahoma City Thunder said, we're not playing. The Lakers said, we're not playing. The Blazers said, we're not playing. And then the following day, the Denver Nuggets said, we're not playing. The Utah Jazz said, we're not playing. The Celtics said, we're not playing. The Raptors said, we're not playing. The WNBA players said, we're not playing. I want to commend all these basketball players, because I honestly never thought I would see something like this. And it's only going to go up from here. Because at this point, the players know how powerful they are. They're not just going to shut up and fucking dribble. And if shit doesn't change or get better, or these individuals aren't brought to justice, oh yeah, it's up. It's up. And the biggest thing that I apologize, I'm getting emotional. The biggest thing I want to stress to individuals is, obviously, racism has existed for over 400 years. This isn't something that's gonna die off in a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. Nah. It's not going to happen at all. But we need to actively work towards fixing the issue. Racism will never stop. But what needs to stop is these officers getting away with murder. Bring all these people who killed unarmed people, need to be held accountable and need to go to jail. They shouldn't be allowed to roam the fucking streets as if nothing happened. So on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, NBA players had a meeting, as well as their respectively NBA players, WNBA players had meetings, and one of the loudest voices that was in the NBA meeting was Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown said, all right, here's the situation. We've decided to protest and boycott these games. But what next? Because if we are not going to leave this bubble and be on the front lines protesting, advocating for change, then our best bet is to continue to play and use the platform that we have to insinuate change. And I wholeheartedly agree. NBA players are the chance. I think it's like a 1% chance of you to make the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. NBA players are of the 1% in skill of all the basketball players who are able to make it to the NBA. You guys have been blessed with talents that individuals could only dream of. And the NBA provides the biggest platform for you to incite change. And I wholeheartedly agree with the approach. If you guys weren't ready to leave the bubble and be on the front lines, then stay and continue to incite change with, don't answer any fucking questions after the games you play about basketball. Talk about when Breonna Taylor's killers are gonna get arrested. Let's talk about that. Let's really politic on that. What's up? Okay? Encourage your community to get out there and vote. Encourage your community to get out there and vote. Look, straight up, and I'm going to continue to say this, and I'm continue to emphasize this and preach this and blah, blah, blah. Racism will never stop in this fucking country. Racism will never stop. Racism will never stop. I'm gonna say it like 10 more times. Racism will never stop. Racism will never stop. Police brutality will never stop. Racism will never stop. Police brutality will never stop. The only thing that we can continue to hope as individuals who look the way that we look is that these individuals who are killing unarmed black people are brought to justice. You should not be allowed to kill somebody who is unarmed and then be able to go straight back to work. That doesn't make any logical sense. I can't do that. Nobody who's my color can do shit like that. Racism will never stop in this country. All we can hope for is these people who are killing unarmed black people to be held accountable. If you kill somebody who doesn't have a fucking weapon on them, you should go to jail. Straight up. How many people? You can't even do. Hey, if you really think about it, in GTA, when you kill somebody, the cops are coming for you. In GTA, when you kill somebody, the cops are coming for you. But how come in real life, you can a police officer can kill somebody and walk home scotch-free, go home to his fucking family? That makes no sense. I'm gonna say it again. In GTA, you can kill somebody and the police are coming straight to get you. That's a fucking video game. But in real life, you got officers gunning down unarmed black men and can go home to their families the very next day. What type of bullshit is that? In GTA, I'm gonna say it again. In GTA, you can kill somebody. The cops are coming straight for you. But in real life, you have officers killing unarmed black men and going straight home to their families as if nothing happened. Going home to eat ice cream and shit. While you got communities and families in all over the country mourning the losses of their individuals. What type of crooked ass shit is that? Look, for those of you guys who don't think voting matters and X, Y, and Z, that's bullshit. Hey, we have the power to elect these officials who do not choose to press charges against these individuals. That's on us. Know who you're voting for. Get out there and actually vote. Be a part of the change. Straight up. But oh man, I just keep rambling and going back and forth, and I apologize. This is really something that hits home to me and affects me personally because it just is. I know what I look like. I'm a black man in this country. I can at any point in my life, my next interaction with law enforcement could be my last. And if that ever happens, y'all, everybody who truly fuck with me, y'all gotta set shit on fire, nigga, go crazy. I'm not finna die for nothing. I'm gonna die for something. I'm gonna die for mine. But the NBA players decided to get back to playing the games, and I'm not sure if we're gonna play playoff games today, but they're gonna play them tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I want to commend all the NBA players for what they did, the sacrifices they're making. And at one point, enough is enough. And I also want to commend all the following teams: 1 second. I want to commend the Jets, the Packers, the Colts, the Tennessee Titans, the Denver Broncos, the Arizona Cardinals, Washington Redskins, the Detroit Lions for taking stances and canceling their practices. Also want to commend Nneka Ogwumike, Sue Bird, and the other individuals that joined her yesterday as she was speaking on First Take and on The Jump and et cetera and et cetera. Okay? Our voices need to be heard. Our voices are being heard, but we can't let up any pressure. No, it's not time to let up at all. And the secondary issue I want to talk about is Messi. All right. So, first of all, I just want to say, what's happening right now with Barcelona, considering they're one of the top clubs in the world, is just absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful. So, Bartomeu, who is the current president of FC Barcelona, has pledged to step down if Leo Messi agrees to stay. And here's my thing. If Son really cared about Barcelona as a club, he would have accepted his failures a long time ago and he would have resigned. I think now he's just trying to save face. And here's the thing. Even if Messi does stay past this transfer window, he's just going to leave next year. He's just going to leave next year. So I think at this point they should just let him go. Like, be willing to sell him to whatever. For those of you guys who don't know, Messi has a $700 million, I keep saying dollars, 700 million euro release clause on his contract. And the ex-president of Barcelona said to himself, like, yo, if Messi actually wants to leave, somebody has to pay 700 million for his services. Straight up. He can't go. Like, Messi's talking about, oh, he wants to leave now, but realistically, Messi knows he cannot leave. If Messi was going to leave, he had to have done it in June. But he wasn't able to because during June, there was no soccer. So now he can't leave. So for Messi to leave, one of two things has to happen. He has to wait until next year, June, or some team legitimately has to be willing to pay 700 million euros for his services. And I don't see any team doing that for a 33-year-old player. That's ludicrous. Messi it's in talks that Messi really wants to play winning football and win another Champions League because he's only won one Champions League in the past 10 years, which was in 2015. The last one before that was, I believe, 2009 or 2010 when they beat Manchester United. And I feel like the only teams that can afford him and that offer him that opportunity are two teams. Manchester City and PSG. And I don't think any of these two teams are going to pay the $700 million for his release clause. Manchester City today, not today, 2 days ago or yesterday, one of the two, offered Gabriel Jesus, Bernardo Silva, another player who I can't figure out whose name is, and 100 million pounds or euros for Messi services. And I want to say that's the dumbest shit that might be one of the dumbest offers I've ever heard for a 33-year-old player. Messi's 33, not 23. Why are you offering that? That's honestly, like, if we wanted to do monetary value, that's probably like close to $400 million in terms of market value, because I think Gabriel Jesus is probably worth like 75 million euros. I would say Bernardo Silva is worth that, closer to probably 70 to 80. The next player probably worth anywhere from, I don't know, 30 to 50, and then plus 100 million euros. Like, y'all do the math. That's 200, right? That's maybe like 180 amongst the players plus another. That's probably like 280 to 300 euros for a 33-year-old player who's past his prime. Not past his prime, but on, like, you know, based on numbers, he's going to be on the decline soon. So I don't think that's the smartest idea. I personally, I don't know what to make of this whole situation. It's just really sad. Like you like, just, I don't know. It's a messy situation for Barcelona fans. Honestly, who would have thought? You know, the shit that could happen in 1 year. It's crazy, huh? Yeah. Like look at the situation we're in now. COVID. You got NBA protests. You got Messi finally saying he wants to leave Barcelona. It's just pure mayhem, honestly. Can't wait to see how this whole situation plays out. I want to thank everybody for listening to my podcast. I'm sorry if I got really emotional. Talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. If you don't fuck with it, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. You can suck a dick. If you don't see an issue with systemic racism in this country, yeah, you can also suck a dick. If you don't believe police brutality is an issue in this country, you can suck a dick. And yeah, I would like everybody to subscribe to my channel, hit this like button, leave a comment. I don't really give a fuck. I'm not really in the best mood today, but again, share, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Stay black to those black listeners, black viewers. And that's a wrap.